Focus Plumbing, always at your fingertips.
Pow! Jerry,
I
you got it. You
I
got
don't know
it.
if I was right on time or not.
Yeah,
but what are you
Danny
gonna
Vegas
do?
time, Danny Vegas World, segment 4, Business Titans. And as happens every fourth segment of the first week of the month, I know it's like a long equation, Business Titan Jerry Zimmerly of Focus Plumbing comes in, and we get schooled, and we get to learn about a 21st century Focus Plumbing company here in Las Vegas. We love them, and this segment, it's all the same. So, Nicole, you're so good at taking over when it comes to Focus Plumbing. So, go.
I'm a big fan of Focus.
I am
love
too.
Focus.
I am too.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the trucks driving around all the time, and I'm trying to get my camera out so I can take a picture, and they're just gone.
Yeah. So I want to talk about water heaters today.
Oh, okay.
And I want to talk about some of the common mistakes you see for homeowners when it comes to choosing a water heater, whether or not you should install it yourself. Pay cheap now, and you have to pay more later. Can we talk about some of the common mistakes where you can get into hot water with a cold water heater?
Ooh, nice.
Oh, I like that
we
one.
can, Nicole, but let's tell everyone too. Jerry's not a plumber,
Oh,
right? And
That's
so,
true. That's true. But you
Jerry
listen
is
to
not a
very
plumber,
wise
But I
plumbers.
have been around so much plumbing in these last few years, and I learn obviously from some of the best guys. I got a guy in the office next to me who's been breathing this stuff for 25 years. So. In any event, ask away. What are some of those things?
Yeah.
You just want me to name a couple? That,
Yeah, I would like to let's hit one topic for water heaters. When you have a water heater situation in your home, can you as a homeowner with basic handyman fix it up kind of non-professional stuff, can we change out our own water heaters? Do you recommend that ever?
Sounds reasonable enough. Absolutely not. Ever, never, ever.
Okay.
Just don't do it.
Why?
Well, here's why. There's just new stuff. There's new technology, and I gotta ask myself, why would I'm not a licensed contractor. I'm not a licensed plumber, and what I've learned is there's more to it. One of the we went out on a job this week, and one of the guys caught it right away on the picture, because we take pictures of everything when
Right.
we're out there. He goes, "That line's not sized properly." But he can't tell quite for sure. So if he can't tell, unless he's there and measuring it and looking, how can you tell?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you touch an old T&P valve to check it? You better not unless you have a new one on hand.
I wouldn't know what the TMP valve was to touch.
Here's the funny thing, and this is why people get so confused about water heaters. You kind of look at it, you unplug
Looks
it,
simple.
or you drain it. You got these two little things here, and you got this vent here, and you're like, golly, I could do that. And so you go down to some warehouse depot, and you buy one of these things, and you come in there and you wrench your back trying to get it up on the thing, and you just figure you can do it yourself. But what the important thing is, Jerry, and I'm sure you can tell us about it, is there are city and county codes that go along with water heaters, because they are literally a missile in disguise that, if you don't put them in right, can cause a lot of damage to your home and everything else. So tell us a little bit about why Focus Plumbing is what it is, because they understand the codes that the city and county want.
Well, there's a couple of aspects to your statement and
Okay.
slash question there. When you put back in your own water heater, the
Right.
best you can do is put back what you see.
Right.
So, if earthquake straps weren't important when your water heater was installed, how would you know that you needed them?
I wouldn't.
See, so you wouldn't. So, and you're right, the water heater is statistically the most dangerous appliance in our home. When they go, and they cause leaks, and they cause water damage. They can go through the roof, which is why that T&P valve, temperature and pressure relief
Right.
valve, is there so that it doesn't. And
So it
that's
doesn't
its
turn into a rocket.
Thank you. So that it doesn't pop off. But there's just a lot of things, and I don't do my own dentistry either. I could probably learn how, and I'm being sarcastic to make my point. Just don't do it. Don't do your own water heater. Get a permit. Do it right.
Yeah, and that,
Use a great company. This is not something you want to save some money on. If it does flood, if there is a problem, what if your insurance company walks in and says, well, hey, who is the licensed contractor did your water heater that just flooded your whole house, and now you're asking me to write a $30,000 check? Who did that water heater?
I did.
I did it.
I did it.
Well, why don't you write the check there, buddy?
You know, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I remember on a
Right.
past show, you said something that was very important. The last person that touches your water heater, that's the
Owns
person who
it.
owns it.
If you're a licensed contractor, that is correct.
Okay.
And so people don't understand why we can't. Can't you just run it that way? My cousin could. No, I can't.
Yeah, you can't have the liability. Okay. Jerry Zimmerly, Focus Plumbing. I have a minute to win it question.
Okay.
Can I get the cheapest water heater in town from Focus Plumbing? I want a really great deal.
Wow. I can give you the best value in town. I can't give you the cheapest price.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the difference?
No, what's the difference?
Price is something that has value to the lowest price whatsoever. Quality is really not an equation. Do you go in search of the cheapest hamburger?
No, I don't. Well, I avoid the cheapest hamburger that my child
Now,
wants.
there's been a time in my life when I needed to check the price of a hamburger before I ordered it, right?
Yeah.
And we all set our lives up differently now, don't we? But my goodness, that is something that we need to vet beforehand. Someone had said earlier, why wouldn't you put the water heater? One of the biggest things that happens is, why do people wait until the water heater goes before they know what a new one costs? If you've moved into a home, and have a plumber come out and do an inspection. Start looking at these things before they go bad. Do you wait until your car starts smoking before you check the oil, or do you? Now we have a light on the car, so it's a little easier.
We do,
Right.
we do. And we invest, $20, $30, $40, $60,000 in a new car. But it does make sense as a homeowner when you get into a home, if you've got a $4,000 or $5,000 piece of equipment in your garage
Right.
that's sitting there that you don't know much about it does make sense to invest a little bit of money and have someone that knows what they're doing spend a little bit of time checking it out every year. So tell me how a homeowner could or should do that. Do we just call up any plumber and say, hey, come and inspect my stuff?
We've discussed it on the show before, and the obvious answer is club memberships.
Okay.
That's right.
Club memberships are what brings you in. It's $14.95 a month, and what's going to happen is you're going to get an expert to come out and look at all these things, log all of your valves, go through your entire system. He's kind of signing off on it, making his recommendations and doing those types of things, so you know in advance. We were doing a photo shoot at a home we plumbed here recently.
Right.
And we found it was 4 years old, and it had a fitting leak. The fitting is starting to weep through, and it's leaking. It's nothing, it's just the fitting. But we found it on an inspection. Isn't that cool, as opposed to finding it in a flood?
Yeah.
Finding it in an inspection is better than finding it in a flood.
So
Can we steal that?
So
That's a good one.
right, and I'm gonna mess this up, but I think he said the repair was gonna be $30.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
a $30. That's him coming at it's a
Yeah.
$30 part.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the Diamond Club, the homeowner that had a 4-year-old house, so you wouldn't think that 4 years old there's going to be something wrong with my plumbing. But for the Diamond Club membership, the plumber saw it, found it on that 323-point inspection, and it was just a $30 repair because there was no other service fee and there was a great discount, I'm sure, with the Diamond Club membership. So that sounds like the way to go.
It really is, and we say that a lot to folks, but my goodness, it's time to get ahead of these issues, because water heaters just don't last. And people always go, well, why? Mine lasted 10 years, my neighbor's lasted 5. What's that all about? Quality of water, types of use. There's 100 different things that affect that, and we just don't know. So get someone out, come and look at your situation, and think of, Focus is going to give you the value, Nicole. And what I mean by that is, when you're done with it, we guarantee it. That's another one of our guarantees. We guarantee that you're going to like our work.
Awesome. Perfect.
That's right.
So what number do we call for this awesome guarantee?
I'm going to get this right today.
Get it. All
right.
1-800-FOCUS-24.
It's that simple. If you want to work with a 2018, 21st century plumbing company, Focus Plumbing is it. And Jerry, we're always happy to have you here to school us and learn us on all the important things that are in our home. Jerry will be back
Thank you,
next
buddy.
month. We'll have a new topic. We will see you next week with hashtag Lady in Red and Dean Rose. See you next week.